that when we move forward into the New Testament story, we discover that despite what it says in our modern-day English language translations, that Jesus' father Joseph, in the earlier Greek editions of the Testament, tell us that he was a master craftsman. Jesus' father Joseph was a master craftsman. What happens when it gets translated into English? Well, our people think, what the hell is a craftsman? A carpenter of some sort, I suppose. He must be a carpenter. So Joseph becomes a carpenter. He's actually called a master craftsman, a great and skilled metallurgist. Not a woodworker at all. So, what was this magical powder that was for the Israelites? Is there a way of transforming metallic gold into a white powder, like Moses was said to have done? Well, in actual fact, there is. Because to make gold, it said you must take gold. And white powder, it said, was gold. And the starting point for gold is gold. So to make the white powder, you begin with gold. And the story goes round in a circle, and we move into a particular avenue of early alchemical practice. Gold is noble, they said. Gold is truth. Through the regular use of the Anunnaki starfire, which was itself called the gold of the gods, the recipients were said to have moved into the realms of heightened awareness, consciousness, because of the inherent melatonin and serotonin. This was the realm of advanced enlightenment, which they called the plane of Charon, the plane of the orbit of light, and the starfire was said to be the route through the light.
The sons of Cain were thrust out of the temple which they had built, as their father Cain had been driven from the garden which he had tilled. This Hiram felt to be an outrage and an injustice, so he applied himself to prepare the means whereby the sons of Cain might rend the veil and open the way to God for whosoever will. But remember, the God of the sons of Cain is, has always been, and always will be Lucifer. To this end, he sent messengers over the world to collect all the metals with which the sons of Cain had ever wrought. With his hammer, he pulverized them and placed them in a fiery furnace to extract by alchemistry from each particle the quintessence of knowledge derived in the experience of working with it. Thus, the combined quintessence of these various base metals would form a spiritual sublimate of knowledge, incomparable in potency, valuable beyond all earthly things. Being of ultimate purity, it would contain no color, but resemble a sea of glass. Whoever should love in it would find himself endowed with perpetual youth. No philosopher could compare with him in wisdom. This white stone knowledge would even enable him to lift the veil of invisibility and meet the superhuman hierarchs who work in the world with a potency undreamt of by the masses. In reality, folks, they are known as the Illuminati, and there's nothing mysterious about them whatsoever. I continue. Masonic traditions tell us that Hiram's preparations were so perfect that success would have been assured had not treachery triumphed. But the incompetent craftsmen whom Hiram had been unable to initiate into the higher degrees conspired to pour water into the vessel cast to receive the molten sea. For they knew that the son of fire was unskilled in the manipulation of the watery element and could not combine it with his wonderful alloy. Thus, by frustrating Hiram's cherished plan and spoiling his masterpiece, they aimed to revenge themselves upon the master. Solomon had been privately informed of the nefarious plot, but jealousy on account of the Queen of Sheba bound his tongue and stayed his arm, for he hoped that when the ambitious plan of Hiram failed, the affections of the queen would turn from his humiliated rival to himself. He therefore closed eyes and ears to plot and plotters. When Hiram confidently pulled the plugs, the liquid fire rushed out, was met by the water, and there was a roar that seemed to shake heaven and earth, while the elements boiled and battled. All but Hiram hid their faces at the awful havoc. Then from the center of the raging fire, he heard the call of Tubal-Cain, bidding him jump into the molten sea. Full of faith in his ancestor, who had gone before him upon the path of fire, Hiram obeyed and plunged fearlessly into the flames. Sinking through the disintegrated bottle into the bottom of the vessel, he was conducted successfully through 9 arc-like layers of the earth to the center, where he found himself in the presence of Cain, the founder of his family, who gave him instructions relative to blending water and fire, and who furnished him with a new hammer and a new word which would enable him to produce these results. Cain looked into the future and uttered a prophecy which has been partly fulfilled. What remains is in process of realization day by day, and as surely as time goes on, all will come to pass. You, Hiram, said Cain, are destined to die with hopes unfulfilled, but many sons will be born to the widow and keep your memory green through the ages, and at length one will come who is greater than you. You shall not wake till the Lion of Judah raises you with the powerful grip of his paw. This day you have received your baptism of fire, but he shall baptize you with water and with Spirit. You and every son of the widow who will come to him, greater than Solomon, he will build a new city and a temple wherein the nations may worship. The sons of Cain and the sons of Seth shall there meet in peace at the Sea of Glass. Hiram was again conducted to the surface of the earth, and as he walked from the scene of his shattered ambition, the conspirators set upon and fatally wounded him. But before he expired, he hid the hammer and disc upon which he had inscribed the word. This was never found until ages later, when Hiram, the widow's son, was reborn as Lazarus and became the friend and pupil of the Lion of Judah, who raised him from death through initiation. When the hammer was found, it had the shape of a cross, and the disc had become a rose. Therefore Hiram took his place among the immortals under the new and symbolical name Christian Rosenkreuz. He founded the order of temple builders which bears his name. In that order, aspiring souls are still instructed how to fuse the base metals and make the white stone. The symbology of the foregoing, ladies and gentlemen, will be explained before I'm done with you.
Ham, Chem, is given in the Old Testament as a son of Noah. But in the oldest historical records, pre-Bible writing times, this is not the case at all. He, along with his brother Japhet, were the sons of the great Vulcan and goldsmith Tubal-Cain.